Okay, so cool AI thing number 16. This is the Autonomous Life CRM. This is kind of how it's going to be made. I want to show all the prerequisites of what I need to do, and yeah, let's build it. So I have a handoff prompt for the first prompt. That's going to be just setting up all the prereqs. Here's what we've already done. Here's what still needs to be done. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to open a new quad session. Load it up. So first thing it's telling me that I need to do is create a GitHub repo and create a Firebase project. So right here, I'm creating the GitHub repo. Create that. It's saying to also make a new Firebase project. So I'm going to do that. Name it Life CRM. I'm going to click through this. Says to edit security rules to make it allow read write of truth. So I'm going to figure out where that is. So I couldn't find where the key was, but now I'm asking my Claude a different question, which is there an API that you can use? Which is me basically asking Claude, is there a way that you can go into the Firebase project and just configure it for me? So as you can kind of like see through its thinking, it needs CLI, but doesn't have it yet. The way to do that is like go through this Google console, which I have, and configure all of these to allow it. So I'm going to do that to enable my Claude to just kind of go into my Firebase and just do it itself. Okay, now it's saying to copy API key and project ID. It's bad practice to throw that right into Claude. You want to have that in a more secure place, so I'm going to ask Claude, where is a secure place I can put the API key and project ID? Okay, so now it's saying put it in the .env file, so I'm going to tell Claude, open the .env file for me. Sometimes Claude could fight you on this, here, for example, so no, open it for me. Alright, it is the next day, so I'm wearing a different shirt. So I have the file open in a different screen on my monitor because I don't want you to see my API key, so I'm going to add those and then see where we're at. Okay, so I added both, so let's ask it. Okay, it's added. Now it's verifying if I made the GitHub repo that it's telling me to. Cool. So I'm seeing right now, it looks like it wants to start doing everything. See the Vercel deploy here, and I don't want it to do everything right now, so I'm going to say no. Update memory as needed. That reset of everything. Then I want a comprehensive handoff prompt for a new session to start. And I don't want the new session to do all of this too. So let me say what from this could be like a good stopping point. So I'm just looking. Let's go up into task 5. So tasks 1 through 5, then hand off again. And then it's good to just say, ask questions for clarification at the end, because there could be something that the AI just doesn't understand with what you're doing. Right now, for example, it's asking where should they be saved, should these tasks be in one session, blah, blah. So I'm going to answer those and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so looking right now, resend API key. I don't have that right now, so good that we haven't started yet. I don't have the GitHub app for that enabled, so I'm going to do those things and then, yeah, see where we're at. Okay, so I got the handoff for task 1 to 5, so I'm going to start a new session. Going to take all this, throw it in, see what happens. Cool, so now we only have tasks 1 to 5, which for a new session, I'm just thinking right now, like, token optimization. I don't want one chat just doing all this. So 1 to 5 seems like it would be enough that Claude can kind of do it in a timely manner, but also like efficiently. So we will update when it is done. So tasks 1 to 5 are done, and just for reference, like this is the amount of context that you have in a chat. If this gets to the top, it has to auto compact back down to half. Just on 1 to 5 alone, took us all the way here. So if I tried to do this, task 1 to 10 would have taken way too many tokens. That's how it costs more in terms of what you're paying for. So always good to have these planned phases. I have the next handoff ready to go right here. So I'm going to open in a new chat and then, just keep moving. So I'm making it make me a handoff for task 11 to 13. I have a demo of the website itself up on my computer. So this is what it will look like when it's done. But I'm not seeing anything with iMessages, which as someone who texts a lot, I wanted it to be a part of this. So I asked it, where's the iMessage component of this? And it's saying that it was listed as prerequisite in task 0. There's no confirmation it's installed. Task 13 iMessage test will fail if it hasn't been. So these are just examples of like, even if you have the most perfect spec ever, sometimes AI just messes it up. So always good, I think, as you're just kind of watching it happen. Like if you really know what you want to do, you're going to know where to kind of poke holes in whatever the AI is saying and see if anything needs to be edited. So now I'm in a new session. We started with 11 to 13. These are just doing all my prerequisites. Okay, here are the 3 manual tasks. Here's what needs help. So let's see what it says. So it's saying for task 11 that it wants me to deploy the website to Vercel, which honestly I don't want to do it. People hear about skills a lot. I think a lot of people don't really know what they are. All it is using a / command to load in a markdown file, which a markdown file is the exact same thing of like the planning docs we had before, but that's just loading context into Claude to then do something. So in this example, I have previously made a skill called Vercel deploy, which is basically instructions for Claude, like when you want to do something or when you want to deploy something to Vercel, this is how you do it. So I'm going to say right now, because I don't really want to do the Vercel deploy stuff, for task 11, let's invoke Vercel deploy. And it should now just kind of be able to do it itself. So look, it employed the skill, now it's loading. Here we're going to figure out how to do it. So it's checking what it needed, seeing that's not linked, has the Vercel CLI. CLI stands for command line interface, so that's basically saying that I have the capability to push things to Vercel. And so now, look, it has to-dos on how to do the Vercel stuff. So, cool. I don't need to do task 11. Task 11 was completed. Let's go. All right, cool. Task 12, I forget what it was. So I'll say, remind me what 12 was. This seems pretty easy, so let's do it. So I didn't have MCPs for Gmail, which is surprising to me. What an MCP is if an API token, like you have app A and app B, if an API token shows you how to do this one small thing for app A, an MCP is like a pipe that connects the two. So it shows every complex thing that an LLM model conceivably could do. The MCP is what gives it full access. So a token might be just one specific thing, but an MCP is just the whole kind of breadth of what that all is. So this is saying that there are 2 steps left, enabling Gmail MCP, and then also just enabling these permissions. So I'm going to try that, and then going to see kind of what the progress is. So it's saying that everything is done. What I want to do now, this whole task 13, I think it just makes sense to, especially because of what the context is, ask for a new handoff prompt to then test this in a new session. So it's saying, or it's asking if the iMessage plugin is installed, which I know it's not. So I'm going to search iMessage. So this is basically, by installing this, enabling my quad to look at my iMessages. So I'm going to install that. So now I'm loading in, boom, handoff prompt. I'm excited for this, see what happens. Okay, everything is set up seemingly except for the iMessage stuff. So, yeah, I think the plan is to take this handoff prompt and start the iMessage stuff. So it's saying that the iMessage plugin is active, awesome. Okay, you text yourself, trigger runs, whatever. Alright, now I need to build this trigger. Cool, I have to do it. Now, as Claude has thought through this, I'm going to stop its thinking right now, but it's saying that it wants to build something else. So basically this is because the trigger runs in the cloud and it doesn't want to look at things locally on my machine. So I'm just reading through this and just thinking, does it make sense? Okay, yeah, I mean, I think this makes sense, so I'm gonna let it continue and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it's saying I'm done. I don't remember texting it at all what my number is, so I don't really know how it's supposed to know what my phone number is, so I'm gonna ask, how do you know my phone number? Is there something I need to provide to do this? Because like I said, like I never gave it my number. It's saying right here, no idea what your number is, so this is just another example, I think, of just like, you don't always trust AI on its first pass. But when you give it good specifications beforehand, I think it puts you in the better mindset of like, alright, I know it's really not kind of understanding this correctly, so I'm going to go accordingly. Except now I'm reading this actually, and apparently you don't even need to have your number. So this is saying when you text yourself on iMessage, okay, so I'm going to see if this has access, and I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm about to text myself. I have a dentist appointment next week. Text myself that, so now I'm going to ask, okay, I just texted myself, what is the best way to test if it works? So it's saying to run the script manually right now. I'm going to go into my terminal. When this says bash, I don't remember exactly what it is, but all that is saying is like this is another thing that you have downloaded where it's like bash is the action. So I think this should work. Okay, what are we seeing? It says authorization denied, so I'm going to take this, say help me diagnose this, and see what it says. Okay, so basically it's saying that I don't have the full, I guess, share settings, so I'm just going to do this and then try it again. Okay, so now I'm giving my terminal full disk access, so quit and reopen the terminal. Now let's see again. Okay, we just changed it. So now I'm gonna take this again. Let's see if it works. Okay, so it says iMessage intake check, which makes me think it works. So I'm gonna, wow, yeah, cool. Checking. Okay, so it went through, but there was some sort of error with parsing with Haiku, which that's just a model of Claude. So I think like this is progress, but still not exactly done. And yeah, Claude is saying that's exactly what happened. So it was fixed, message was found, but Haiku returned an empty response. Let's fix it. So it's saying send yourself another iMessage, then rerun. So I have my phone again to myself. I'm literally gonna copy paste this again. I'm gonna write 2 at the end of it, just to kind of know that this was a new message. Then I'm gonna rerun. So close this out. Let's open a new window. And I need to grab the original message, so I'll take that. Whoa. Open a new window. Okay, I think it works. Output seems truncated. Just shows the header. Output cut off. Okay, so let's try it again. Okay, I'm seeing this was actually the full message, so I'm gonna go back into Claude. Sometimes you just gotta do this a bunch of times. Just keep kind of seeing what works, what's not. This is progress. Push failed because this, so let's fix it. Okay, gonna do one more message. So I have a dentist appointment. Put 3 at the end. Okay, do that. I already did this. This was just clearing my GitHub repo for this project. I'm gonna close out both of these, start a new one, let it load. Okay, so got the message. We just need to wait for it all to end and see if everything went through. Okay, I think it all worked. So I'm gonna take this just to check. I'll throw it in. Almost 100%. Claude's about to say it worked. Full end-to-end working, beautiful. Okay, now let's see what else we have to do. Okay, so one thing I want to show, I actually need to give access to, I think, the Python script that runs this in my disk. You can't just do that to a script, so I actually need to make an app. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Alright, so I'm on Automator, which I think just lives on your Mac. So I'm making an application. Then what does it want me to do? In the search box, type run shell script, double click to add it. Okay, run. Okay. Allow. Then place the default content with this. So I want to just say that you just do that. Okay, now saving the application. Just put it on my desktop right now, just because then it would be easy to find it. Okay, so we got there. Then now it's saying go back to full disk access. So we need now to give access to the new app. So I have that. Cool. Look at that. Alright, awesome. Okay, so now I'm testing the app. Did that. Now this. Now do that. Didn't work. So it actually didn't work, and it's seemingly because it was all on iCloud Drive, and it's not supposed to be. Okay, so I guess let's just move it. Okay, so we moved it. Then from there, we now need to test it again. Alright, cool. It is running correctly. Awesome. So, one last try. I'm going to text myself. Dentist appointment 4. Texting myself that. Okay, I just did. Now, we're going to trigger that immediately just to check. Exit out of there. Okay, new terminal. Oop, that's the wrong one. Go back here. And I think it should work. Look at that. Dentist appointment 4, and it's adding it to the CRM. Beautiful. Alright, I went to the gym, which is why I'm in my third shirt of this video, but if you go in here now, you can click on these things. So this is a test, we'll mark that done. In the health, just had all of the dentist appointments that we logged via iMessage, but I'm going to mark all of those as done. So now, if I refresh, yep, cool. Done 5 things this month, 0 active items. Looks like we're good. This is probably bad to say, but I had no clue that I had 3 of these subscriptions, so gonna have to get rid of those. But yeah, this was very fun to build. This is the first thing that I think I'm making that I'm gonna put the full instructions how to do this online. On my website, I will have a fully written out template, just point A to point Z of how to make this. I think being responsible just with life tasks is something that everybody should be able to do. So if you really enjoyed this or want to see any other AI things, I post on social media a lot. Check out my website, griffguidesai.com, and yeah, it's been great doing this.